You are listening to Hands at Work audio.
Meanwhile in Africa.
Meanwhile in Africa.
In Africa.
In Africa.
In Africa.
Meanwhile in Africa.
Meanwhile in Africa.
The last week in Africa was a tough week. Our senior leaders had to make some big decisions, and they were brave in those decisions. I'm just so proud of these people serving in such a great way. At the same time, we heard incredible stories of hope, stories that inspired many of us to go harder and further and to stay focused, like Agnes. Agnes is one of our coordinators in Malawi, deep rural. Friends, to understand Agnes' story, you must understand that in the midst of the COVID-19 virus, a hospital in the eyes of somebody from a village is like a death sentence. You only go to the hospital to die. We had a child, Melitissa, in a hospital. We took her there because we had to attend to her wound. And Agnes, after reconsidering, said, let's make it personal. She got in a taxi and she went to the hospital to go and visit Melitissa, to feed her and to bring her home after she was cared for. Simon shared with us that it was such a testimony to everybody else in Malawi, how Agnes faced the fear of going to a hospital. Agnes' story was hardly called when we heard the next story from Florence in Mutare in Zimbabwe. In Mutare now, if you travel in a bus, you need to have a letter to prove why you have to travel for your company, otherwise you can be arrested. Florence had no letter. She was just working for a community, one of our key points in Mutare. As she got on the bus was stopped by the soldiers and they said, everybody without a letter, you've got to get off the bus, and they wanted to arrest them. Florence got off the bus and they asked her, where's your letter? She said to them, read my t-shirt. Her t-shirt said, Christian Foundation Care in Mutare. It was a t-shirt that was given to her 8 years ago by our international partner when he went to go and visit Florence. He gave her a t-shirt spelling out that mission of what they were doing, caring for children. There Florence stood in front of the soldiers and she said to them, read my t-shirt, this is my letter. I am a Christian caring for the most vulnerable children in Sakubva. And if you want to follow me, come and see what we are doing, please come. They released her. She went to the care point where she cooked for the children. And Farai told me later that day, the soldiers went there and they saw her cooking. They inspected how we had hands washing places and we kept social distancing, and we gave these children, so vulnerable, a healthy plate of food before they went home. And they just commended us. They said, this is what compassion is about. This is what it means to care in tough times. Florence, her letter written on a t-shirt, but maybe more than that. Florence's letter was written in her heart. She overcame the fear to get on a bus. She overcame the fear to go to a workplace when she didn't really have a letter. She was burning in her heart to care for those who will not survive if we don't do it. That letter is written in your heart.
www.handsatwork.org